Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're covering President Trump's major speech aboard the USS George Washington in Japan on October 28, 2025. This was a significant troop visit where Trump addressed thousands of sailors and celebrated the U.S.-Japan alliance. Let's dive in. Trump opened by thanking the sailors of the U.S. Navy, calling them special people and champions. He was clearly energized, speaking to thousands of American and Japanese service members aboard the massive 100,000-ton aircraft carrier. Trump called the USS George Washington a forward-deployed symbol of American might, power, and prestige. He started by recognizing Pete Hegseth, now known as Secretary of War instead of Secretary of Defense. Trump praised Hegseth for giving up a lucrative career at Fox News to serve, saying he was making millions but chose military service instead. Trump joked that Hegseth knew more about the military than anybody and only wanted to talk about it on TV. Trump made it clear his administration won't be politically correct when defending the United States. He said from now on, if America is in a war, they're going to win it like nobody ever before. He emphasized the concept of peace through strength and criticized past administrations for going into countries, blasting them, winning, and then leaving without securing anything. The Japanese prime minister then spoke. She's the first female prime minister in Japanese history, and Trump was very complimentary. She talked about the U.S. Navy's 250th anniversary and expressed deep gratitude to American and Japanese forces for safeguarding peace and security. She referenced how 6 years ago, the late Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and Trump stood together at the same location, demonstrating their resolve that Japan and the U.S. would join hands. She said she's determined to carry forward that resolve and elevate the Japan-U.S. alliance to even greater heights. Trump announced he just approved the first batch of missiles to be delivered to the Japanese self-defense forces for Japan's F-35s, and they're coming this week, ahead of schedule. He said everybody wants American missiles because they're the best in the world. Trump then celebrated the Navy's 250th anniversary, calling it 250 years of courage, pride, honor, and victory. He said 3 weeks ago he witnessed an unforgettable display of pure American dominance at Naval Station Norfolk, from guided missile destroyers to nuclear submarines to aircraft carriers. Trump declared that no enemy will ever even dream of threatening America's Navy. He emphasized that America is blessed with the strongest and most powerful military in history, but the ultimate strength doesn't come from equipment, it comes from the people. Trump announced he just approved the biggest military budget in history, over $1 trillion, and is supporting an across-the-board pay raise for every sailor and service member. In a generous gesture, Trump announced that sailors on the George Washington who took a hit to their family separation pay for returning to port early for this event would receive the full amount they were owed for deployment with no deductions. Trump proudly stated that after years of recruiting shortages, they now have waiting lists with record numbers trying to join the military. He said 2025 was the Navy's single best recruiting year in many generations. He reflected on how much has changed in less than a year since the November 5th election, saying the country went from having no spirit to everyone wanting to join the police, fire departments, and the military. Trump called it an amazing victory and said thank goodness they won because the country was in big trouble. Trump then honored Naval Air Crewman 3rd Class James McCall, who rescued 3 stranded Navy divers off the Japanese coast. McCall was called up on stage, and Trump praised his incredible bravery. McCall humbly thanked his shipmates and said, "God bless America." Then Trump got technical and asked the sailors directly about equipment. He asked which catapult system is better for launching planes, electric or steam. The crowd overwhelmingly shouted steam. Trump criticized the decision to switch to electric catapults, saying consultants who'd never been on an aircraft carrier made the choice. He said the electric system costs billions, and when it breaks, you need MIT's most brilliant people to fix it, whereas steam can be fixed with a hammer and a blowtorch. Trump announced he's going to sign an executive order to go back to steam catapults. Then he asked about elevators, hydraulic or magnets. Again, the crowd chose hydraulic. Trump criticized using magnets, saying if you drop water on them, you don't know what will happen, whereas every excavating machine uses hydraulic. He said, seriously, I'm putting out an order to go back to steam catapults and hydraulic elevators for all future aircraft carriers. Trump praised the naval aviators, saying the hardest thing to do as a pilot is landing on an aircraft carrier. He said great pilots can do everything, but many can't do that because it requires very special talent. When the ship looks like a little needle in the ocean from above, especially in the dark, it takes incredible skill. On a lighter note, Trump asked how the food was, and the sailors said it's good. He thanked the Food Service Division for serving up to 14,000 meals every single day. Then Trump pivoted to policy achievements. He said America is bringing back shipbuilding. In World War II, America was the biggest in the world at shipbuilding, but then they went woke and stupid and weak and started buying ships from everybody. Now they're getting that industry back. Trump announced that more than $17 trillion is pouring into the United States from all over the world in just 8 months. He compared this to the last administration doing less than $1 trillion in 4 years. He expects to hit $20 or $21 trillion by the end of the first year. Trump specifically thanked Japan for making big investments in the United States. He revealed that the Japanese Prime Minister just told him Toyota is putting auto plants all over the United States worth over $10 billion. Trump credited tariffs for this success, saying tariffs have been bringing in trillions of dollars and nobody understood tariffs like he does. Trump claimed he stopped 8 wars in 8 months, calling it a war a month. He said no president in history has ever ended any war, but he's ended 8. He specifically mentioned stopping a war between India and Pakistan by threatening both nuclear powers with tariffs if they went to war. On the southern border, Trump said he deployed the military on his first day back to stop the invasion and claims they now have the most secure border in American history with 0 people coming in illegally for 5 months. Trump said 200,000 people died last year from drugs that came through an open border and 25 million people poured in totally unvetted, including over 11,000 murderers, half of whom committed more than one murder. Trump talked about cleaning up cities. He said Washington, D.C. was a killing mess with high crime, but after sending in the National Guard, it became very safe in just 12 days. They arrested 1,700 career criminals, many who came through Biden's open border. He's now doing the same in Memphis and plans to go into Chicago and other troubled cities. On the drug war, Trump praised Pete Hegseth for having the courage to hit drug cartel vessels. He said each boat they destroy kills 25,000 American people every single year. Trump said for many years the drug cartels waged war on America, and now finally America is waging war on the cartels. Trump listed the 8 wars he claims to have ended: Kosovo and Serbia, Congo and Rwanda, Pakistan and India, where Iran's nuclear capability was taken out by B-2 bombers, Egypt and Ethiopia, Armenia and Azerbaijan, which had been going on for 35 years, the war in Gaza and the Middle East, and just this month, Cambodia and Thailand in Malaysia. He said he saved millions of lives, mostly verbally, using trade and tariffs for his leverage. On the economy, Trump said energy costs are way down, gasoline prices are way down, grocery prices are way down, except for beef, which they're working on. He criticized Fed Chair Jerome Powell, calling him Jerome Too Late Powell for being too late in lowering interest rates. Despite having a totally grossly incompetent Fed chair, Trump said they're blowing through it because the economy is doing so well. Trump said inflation has been defeated and workers' wages are rising at the fastest pace in 60 years. He claimed his first term built the greatest economy in history, but this time it's going to be much bigger and stronger. Trump honored Chief Warrant Officer Will Hightower, who serves in the Deck Department and has only been home for 3 weeks in the past 12 months, leaving behind his wife and young children. Trump called him up and asked if his wife still loves him. Hightower said yes every day, and Trump told him to say hello to his daughter, whose birthday is coming up when his tour ends in February. In his conclusion, Trump said every sailor inherits a legacy of valor, grit, and glory unmatched in history. He invoked George Washington's motto, "First in war, first in peace." Trump declared that after 250 years, that's exactly what America is today. First in war, first in peace, first in wealth, first in power, first in science, first in spirit, and first in freedom. Trump said the country went through 4 bad years, but now America will always be first again. He emphasized that countries around the world are respecting America again like never before, and the treatment he receives is really a respect for the country. Trump ended with his signature rallying cry, telling everyone to fight, 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 and that they will win, win, win. He thanked the USS George Washington, U.S. Forces Japan, blessed the military, Japan, the United States, and the Navy. The speech ended with music, including YMCA, Trump's signature rally song. That was President Trump's powerful address to American and Japanese forces aboard the USS George Washington. He covered everything from military equipment decisions to economic achievements to foreign policy wins. The speech reinforced the U.S.-Japan alliance and celebrated American military strength while announcing major policy changes for future aircraft carriers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.